coming to you from Meadow Mill. I'm Amanda, and this is Alan. You can join us here every Tuesday at 12:30 for your weekly news roundup and a discussion of current events. Please feel free to comment and ask us questions in the fields below. Alan, we've come to the last night of Hanukkah.
Yeah, finally.
Did you win any gelt at dreidel?
No, I did not. I didn't even
get to play around. So you had a good festival of lights?
Yeah, it was great. It was great. How about you?
Yeah, it was fine. It was good.
I'm ready for it to be over now.
8 days is plenty.
It's a long
plenty
holiday.
Of partying.
Yeah. The Christmas is smart. They just do it one day and then it's over.
One day. Although, sometimes it starts at midnight on the 24th, and then you're like saying,
Plus, they start like 3 months early with all the sales and everything.
Right.
So maybe that's a bad comparison.
It's not even any better.
Yeah.
Let's tell these people what they need to know today. Okay. I was out yesterday, but I saw that you guys put up a really fun piece by Michael Olesker.
Yeah, he did a great job on it. Jmore columnist Michael Olesker was at Baltimore's Penn Station on Friday night waiting for his wife to come home, the lovely Susie Olesker, when he spotted the president's daughter, Ivanka Trump.
What?
Yeah,
Crazy.
It's true.
Crazy.
After confirming it was her, Olesker wrote an open letter on jmoreliving.com in his blog asking what she might have been doing in town. Here are the questions he posed. Did you come here because you heard that Hanukkah shopping was better in Pikesville than Manhattan? Probably not.
Not that.
Did you come here because you heard Baltimore is the nation's true seat of power and you wanted some leadership tips from Catherine Pugh and Kevin Kamenetz? Probably not.
Probably not that either.
Yeah. Did you stop to see the Christmas lights on 34th Street in Hamden? Probably not that either.
Least likely, okay.
Then he mentioned an article in the Jerusalem Post that said, quote, as a rule, the media tribe has Shabbat dinner together every Friday night. Jared and Ivanka log off for the night wherever they may be. Mm-hmm. Which brought Olesker to his final question. Ivanka, what were you doing traveling on Shabbat? An excellent question.
Ivanka!
Maybe she got a dispensation from her rabbi.
Another one, because she gets those fairly often. Yes. They just hand them out like
Post-its. I need a rabbi like that.
Well, yeah, so there's Olesker calling out Ivanka and running into her at Penn Station, of course. Naturally, it had to be Olesker. Tell us in the comments below what you think Ivanka was doing in town. I personally think she was collecting the rent checks from her husband's slum apartments.
That could very well be true.
So in other local news.
Yeah, this one not as humorous. It's about Baltimore City water rates. No. Baltimore Fishbowl is reporting that Baltimore's ongoing water and sewer rate hikes are becoming too expensive for most of the city, according to a new report by an independent economist. The city needs money to pay for federally mandated fixes to its ancient sewer system, so it has implemented a system of raising rates by about 10% for water and 9% for sewer through at least 2019. The math isn't that simple for most household budgets, argues Roger Colton. The Boston-based economist found by analyzing the city's census tracts that water unaffordability has been exacerbated to a point where it's depriving the city of revenue simply because many people can no longer afford their bills. At median income levels relative to a resident's neighborhood, 2/3 of the city was able to afford water and sewer bills in 2016. By 2019, that share will drop to more than half, according to Colton. And that doesn't even include those who make far below the median income. This poses a major problem since around 1 in 4 Baltimoreans lives at or below the poverty rate.
Wow.
In this process, those residents who don't pay will have their water shut off and, at worst, have their homes sold at tax lien sales. The Baltimore City Department of Public Works is exploring ways to improve affordability within the current rate structure, according to spokesman Jeff Raymond.
This is awful. Yeah. I mean, water's I guess it's not an inalienable right, but it's pretty basic and fundamental. And if this is a mess, if we can't fix this, then we end up with a Flint-like situation. Yeah, and I think they're still getting bottled water in Flint. Yeah, it's a very scary situation for a lot of people. Yeah, I mean, people shouldn't have to be out of their homes because they can't afford a water bill. Right. So you can read more about this problem at our partner publication, Baltimore Fishbowl. If you're just joining us, this is Jmore's Need to Know on Facebook Live. Tell us how you feel about Ivanka Trump and the city water rates in the comments below. Share, like, and follow at #Jmore Need to Know. Here's some happy Baltimore news. Yes, the Baltimore Farmers Market wants more vendors. Last weekend was the last of the season for the decades-old Baltimore Farmers Market, but organizers are already making plans for next year.
The farmers market is accepting applications as the city looks to add some new vendors for the 2018 season, according to WJZ-TV. Baltimore City officials say more than 120 vendors sold food and showcased crafts at the location under I-83, and a majority of the items were made in the state. So go to Baltimore Office of Promotion in the Arts for a vendor application. When does this start up again? In April?
April.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be back in April. I think the Mandelbrot should go sign up for
Mandelbrot,
vendor application. I'd like to see a knish stand. What do you think?
Matzo ball soup?
Matzo ball soup would be amazing.
That'd be great.
So, yeah,
it's a wonderful farmers market. If you haven't been there, you got to go to it. It's the real deal. It's a lot of fun.
It's great. It's a great one.
It's not in the middle of a farm, of course, but
no, not exactly.
But it's a lot of great produce and a lot of great fresh food there too.
Prepared foods and crafts and gifts and yumminess.
It's just fun to be out there.
So,
Glenn, you ever go?
Absolutely.
What do you want them to add?
Oh, I don't know. Later hours.
That's a good point.
They close at noon?
And it's almost all gone by the time you get there.
But those guys get there like at 5 in the morning. They're cut from a different cloth.
No one wants to do that. And I know you like the pit beef, right?
Yes, pit beef is great there.
All right, so on to international or national news.
Okay, well, the vice president has delayed his Israel trip yet again. Vice President Mike Pence has again delayed his trip to Israel. His spokeswoman, Alyssa Farah, said Monday that the trip would now take place in January. Mm-hmm. She said the delay was so the Trump administration could preside over a much-anticipated tax overhaul favored by the president. Pence might need to cast a deciding vote in the closely divided Senate.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
The largest tax cut in American history is a landmark accomplishment for President Trump and a relief to millions of hardworking Americans, Farah said in a statement.
I'm not feeling relieved.
The vice president is committed to seeing the tax cut through to the finish line. He looks forward to traveling to Egypt and Israel in January. I have a feeling he might get a rude reception, at least in Egypt.
A little bit. Tiny.
Pence originally was slated to travel over the weekend and then delayed the trip until the middle of this week, citing the tax vote. A White House official told JTA that would delay Pence's travel until Wednesday, which would push meetings in Israel into Shabbat and Christmas. The official said Jason Greenblatt, Trump's top negotiator, would continue as scheduled to the region this week. Pence would arrive by mid-January, the official said. The trip originally meant to encompass Israel, Egypt, and the Palestinian areas, and was also prescribed because Palestinian leaders refused to meet with Pence in the wake of President Trump's recognition of Jerusalem as Israel's capital.
And I believe Nazareth canceled Christmas.
That's true.
By the way, just as a protest.
Imagine that, canceling Christmas?
Nazareth. That's like the beginning of Christmas, right?
Where it all happened.
I mean, I don't know about these things, but I'm assuming. I've heard tell Nazareth is important.
They have big celebrations there, and it's a big one.
I bet it is.
Yeah.
Sadly, we have even more updates in regard to our Hollywood sexual assault scandal.
Yes, more accusations against Dustin Hoffman, Oscar-winning actor. 3 women who accused Dustin Hoffman of inappropriate sexual behavior recounted being stunned by his advances toward them. 2 were underage when the alleged sexual misconduct took place. The third says she was subject to night after night of inappropriate touching during months on Broadway with him. It's hard belief, but it's heartbreaking. It eroded my self-confidence and my dignity, Catherine Rossetter, who co-starred with Hoffman on Broadway in Death of a Salesman, told NBC on Monday. It was humiliating and demeaning. He robbed me of the joy of that experience. Rossetter is one of several women who recently came forward with decades-old allegations against Hoffman. Hoffman, who's now 80, said in a statement last month that he's sorry for, quote, anything that I might have done, and he said, it's not reflective of who I am.
Unless it is.
And
I know Death of a Salesman is already hard enough to get through. Like, we don't need to add any more drama to that show. We have...
It's a little bleak.
In our upcoming issue, we do have a piece about the 50th anniversary.
The Graduate.
Right.
By our own Michael Esker.
And... again, I think you can still enjoy The Graduate. I hope you can still enjoy. It's an amazing movie.
Well, that kind of goes back to your story.
It does, and
Woody Allen.
And a lot of people. So I wrote about Woody Allen, and I basically came to the conclusion that I think we can still watch these things as on their own for what they are. But a lot of people on Facebook responded that they will not be going to see it because basically you don't want to put money into these people's pockets. I don't know. The movie was out. There's other people in the movie. They would also like to get paid.
Right.
But yeah, so 50th anniversary of Graduate's coming up, and
landmark film.
So
really changed a lot of people's
I
minds
know.
about a lot of
I
things.
love that movie.
Yep.
All right.
Still holds up.
Yeah, it does. I know.
Dated, but still
I saw
holds
it
up.
a few years ago. It was great.
Yeah. More news on the continuing Weinstein scandal. Meryl Streep is firing back after Rose McGowan criticized her response to the Harvey Weinstein allegations, according to People. On Saturday, McGowan called out Streep on Twitter, writing that she continued to work with the disgraced producer for years, despite his very bad reputation, to say the least.
Right.
McGowan also slammed a proposed plan to protest sexual misconduct in Hollywood by wearing black to the Golden Globes, sarcastically suggesting that women instead wear dresses by Marchesa, the fashion label founded by Weinstein's estranged wife, Georgina Chapman. It hurt to be attacked by Rose McGowan in banner headlines this weekend, but I want to let her know I did not know about Weinstein's crimes, not in the 90s when he attacked her or through the subsequent decades when he proceeded to attack others, Streep said it in a statement on Monday.
I mean, that's okay and probably legitimate. I wouldn't want to get into any kind of a battle with Meryl Streep. No. I just don't think that's a good way to
go. First lady of the theater.
Exactly. But I also think that a lot of people continued to work with him because really they didn't have much choice if they wanted a career.
Most powerful man in Hollywood.
Yeah, you're going to end up working with him somehow.
Why only single out Meryl Streep?
Right. I mean, it's a big target. She's a big, probably, yeah, whatever. But
right.
I personally think that this year's been bad enough, and every nominated movie may be touched in some way by this scandal that we could just skip this year's batch of award shows. I mean,
or make that one of the categories, right?
I mean, seriously, like if you weren't a molester and you win something like on the up and up, you probably do want to be honored. But otherwise, what does it look like we're honoring and rewarding? And it's just so rampant.
Right.
So you can, I don't know, you tell me how you feel about that. I say let's skip them. So
they won't do that. It's big business.
So we had sad news.
Big egos too.
Yes, we had some sad news this week.
Yeah, a local philanthropist and civic leader and businessman Stuart J. Greenbaum passed away. I didn't personally know him, but I know a lot of people who did. He did a lot of good in the community and in the world, in the fight against cancer and in Israel. And he was a Jewish leader, but he was also a general leader involved in many causes. And of course, phenomenally a successful businessman who gave back to the community. So our community mourns his loss.
All right.
It's a big one.
Yeah, that's sad to hear. You can read that story. It's up on Jmore.
Right, it's on Jmore Living right now.
All right, so let's wrap this up with a J word of the day.
Okay. Well, the J word of the day is a Hebrew one. It's pasak. Pasak. And it means judgment or opinion. His pasak is that we should sell the business and divide the profits right down the middle.
My pasak is what you heard before. That's only my pasak. Don't hold anyone else to that. It's me.
Okay. So don't hold Glenn to it.
It's not Glenn's pasak.
Doesn't reflect his
We don't
feelings.
know where he stands on the black dress protest.
No.
So that's going to be it for us today. Remember to join us here Tuesdays at 12:30 for your Need to Know News Roundup. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and follow at #Jmore Need to Know. And go to jmoreliving.com for more news updates. Happy Hanukkah one last time. And don't forget that Thursday is winter solstice.
Yes, longest day of the year.
Is it?
Very cool, yeah.
Oh, I thought it was the shortest. Is it the longest?
I think so. I think the winter solstice.
We better go before we mess this up.
Something to Google.
I don't know. Bye.
Bye.